Alright folks, we're back live. We're in Santa Rosa. If you're just joining us, this is a neighborhood in Santa Rosa. I showed my press credentials and was allowed, sorry, just taking a few photos, was allowed past the police lines into this neighborhood. I don't think a lot of other press has really gotten back here, probably with drones. But I've never seen anything like this, folks. Let me know if you're getting this live feed. This is just, feels like a war zone, or I don't even know. It feels like a disaster area. You can just see that home after home. You can just see the all the different smokestacks. There's someone's washer and dryer. This looks like someone's trailer. I can't see any comments for some reason. I don't know if you all are commenting, but if you're watching, and you can let me know you're out there. Looks like this person was working on their car before their whole life went up in flames. Never seen anything like this. Alright, sweet. I see some comments now. Thanks for joining us, y'all. Let me know if you have any questions about what's going on. Again, if you're just joining us, we're near the Coffee Park area of Santa Rosa, California. This is a pretty major city in the United States, California. I never thought I'd see something like this here. This is area of the country I visit quite often, and to see it in this kind of shape is pretty astounding. It's just an absolute wasteland. Looks like this was some kind of suburban neighborhood, just based on the size of the lots. You can see that that the car rims have completely melted. I think the fire's been raging all week, maybe longer. I think there's 17 separate fires, and sorry, I'm just taking a few photos here. Forgive me for this. never seen metal just melt like that. That must have been an incredibly hot fire. You can see it here too. I really hope no one was in these places. Seems like this area has been at least searched. You can see that there's these pink ribbons around, and I saw them doing this at the trailer park we were just at, and I'm pretty sure that this is some kind of indication for first responders that this area has been checked. This is just a little cul-de-sac. This is probably looked at one point like a cul-de-sac anywhere in America. Just never seen anything like this. Okay, so someone's commenting that we're in an exclusive area called Fountain Grove. I wonder if you know anything more about the neighborhood. I've never been here before personally. Like you can see this person's stove just still. Seems like a lot of the chimneys are still standing, and that's about it. There's another burned out car. You can see that these rims completely melted. This person's saying that they had no warning when the fire came through, and I can totally believe that. I know in the trailer park just down the road, walking distance from here, that the fire came through at like 2 in the morning or something, and I'm sure a lot of people were asleep when that happened. And crews are just going around trying to recover any survivors and the bodies that are around. I think that yeah, the devastation's pretty complete. This area just, it goes farther than I can see. It just, this whole neighborhood is would you say, oh, this is someone's basketball hoop at some point? I'm just taking photos and stuff as I go, so that's the sound you're probably hearing. It's pretty amazing that some neighborhoods were leveled to this degree while other neighborhoods were completely spared. You know, again, you can see someone's water heater, their washer and dryer right there. I don't see much left of any personal belongings. You know, everything is just destroyed. I can see that PG&E, the power company, is working over there, so I'm going to avoid that area because there might be some live power situation going. More of these rims melted. You can just see there's nothing left. I'd never walk down a street like this. Not even in Haiti after the earthquake have I seen a neighborhood just so completely destroyed. This is something else. It's surreal. Again, if you're just joining us, we're live in Santa Rosa. We got granted access behind the police roadblocks, and we're currently in a neighborhood that's been completely decimated. Thanks everyone for joining. We really appreciate you supporting independent media. We're just out here trying to give you the unfiltered truth. This is what Santa Rosa looks like right now. This is just one neighborhood. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones that are just like this. Already seen a few. I'm still probably about a half a mile away from Coffee Park, which was one of the more hard-hit areas. I'm going to try to walk there next. But right now, I just want to give you all a really good feel for how much has been destroyed, how big this area is. You haven't seen any of the same stuff twice. This is all different homes. It is a complete wasteland. But at the same time, it's just a quiet little neighborhood. It's just a quiet street. You can see that the signs have been even burned. This is someone's boat. Over there you can see intact homes. So it just kind of shows the hit or miss nature of all this. That some people were completely devastated and others were spared. And yeah, it's really intense. Only real people I have been seeing are firefighters and police, maybe a few other journalists. But I'm pretty sure this is still part of the mandatory evacuation zone, so they're not letting the public back here. Over there you can see a winery or a vineyard in the distance. That seems like it got spared. Eerie sight. More of the melted metal rims, and it's got to be really hot to melt metal like that. Someone's TV, I don't know why it's outside, maybe they were trying to save it. Some kids. Sorry, one second, I'm just gonna adjust my focus here. It's eerie. I don't know if those were fire hoses on the ground or what. It is just eerie though. You can see just a random windmill survived. Try to zoom in. That's just blowing in the wind. Stepping over this debris. Yeah, again, we're in Santa Rosa. If you're just tuning in, really appreciate y'all watching our live feed. Gonna be out here hopefully for the next few days, maybe longer, depending on what happens. We got reports that high winds are expected to pick up again tonight, and that it may push the fire out into other areas. Someone's lawnmower. Across the street. So what I'm going to do is wind my way through this neighborhood, and then I'm going to make my way to the Coffee Park area, which is another neighborhood like this. It's just completely devastated. This is just never seen anything like this. I know I keep repeating myself on that, but it's hard to just explain the feeling out here. You know, the air quality's real bad. You can hear the birds squawking. The sun's sort of peeking through the smoke. And it's quiet. It's really quiet. There's lots of people out here to help. I know that there's 8,000 firefighters. I'm sure there's lots of volunteers. You know, I wouldn't discourage anyone from coming to help, though. I think that folks could use as much help as possible. I'm gonna go down this street real quick because I didn't go down this one. It is just like something out of a, it just looks like a nuclear holocaust. It just looks like a firebomb ripped through here. Sorry, I'm gonna take another photo. Sorry, just taking a photo of that. Eerie, it's just eerie. You know, this is just personal people's lives. Just, you just see little bits and pieces of them. I mean, I just can't imagine the emotional, even if you didn't lose someone, just the shock of all this has got to just be huge. Broken glass. You can see kind of the typical thing I've been seeing is it's like only the most solid objects have survived. You know, the frames of the cars, the washers and the dryers, and the chimneys, and everything else is just been taken. Let's over to this side of the street. Really hope people got out of here. But I know a lot are still missing, in the hundreds. Pretty sure this area has been cleared, but there's lots that haven't, and I know there's just, gosh, look at that, that's so crazy. I'll just live stream it for a second. You can see someone's got their old weight set. I'm trying not to go too far into people's houses. I don't want to be disrespectful. Because they got all their personal stuff in here, so I'm staying on the sidewalk. But gosh, this is just... Thanks again for joining us with Independent Media. If you like these videos, please share them. We pretty much count on members of the community and the online community to help get our work out there. We're, you know, a small platform, and we could use all the help we could get. You can see there's an American flag just sort of waving. Just sort of waving. It almost feels like a graveyard because you got these chimneys that just, it feels like, they look like monuments almost. It's just so creepy. I've never seen anything like this. I've seen lots of houses burned and been to, you know, plenty of fires on when I was working on a fire department, but the scale of this is what makes it really unique, you know. I just never seen this large, this intense of a fire in a city. I mean, this is a normal American city. Anyone in America might be living on a Miller Street or a Skyview or Sons. You know, this is just another Miller Street. Yeah, I really should be wearing a mask. I didn't really prepare super well before coming down here. I should have brought a respirator or a gas mask, but I just came down in a rush. A lot of this, like burning plastic and stuff, puts off super toxic fumes. I'm sure this stuff's just off-gassing the worst toxic stuff into the air, but just had to get down here quick. Okay, coming into what almost looks like a normal neighborhood, or you can see we got all these houses are still burned, but now I'm right about to walk into just, from all this devastation, into just a normal, untouched neighborhood. It is just incredible. You can see these houses are fine. And over here, that is so crazy. I'm gonna walk back through here and try to cut out the other way before I end the live stream, because it'll get me closer to the Coffee Park area. Someone's mailbox. Yeah, there's the untouched side. Yeah, I'll get into other neighborhoods here. I just gotta go the other direction, so let's cut back through here. God, look at that. Oh, sorry, just focus my camera. It just looks like any American neighborhood. These people had their Halloween decorations up. almost just feel lost in here. Everywhere looks the same. Yeah, there's been crows making noise, and yeah, this is a quiet little breeze. Super quiet. Walk by this one. Just working my way out of this neighborhood and gonna go show y'all some different neighborhoods. It's weird because it still has the feel of a normal neighborhood, kind of, you know, the sidewalk and the street. It's just sort of quiet and calm out. Look at this, just this melted piece of metal. Wow, look at that. Look at that. I don't know exactly what all the survivors are going to do. I know a lot of people have been evacuated. I'm pretty sure 90,000 people in California are currently under evacuation. And you know, a lot of them are at community shelters and spaces that have been set up. I believe just this morning the governor put out an alert. I'm not sure actually if it was the governor. I think it was actually Immigrations and Customs Enforcement just made a statement that they're not going to be actively pursuing undocumented people for deportation if they show up at the relief sites, but understandably, I'm sure a lot of those people are hesitant to. And so in another media report this morning, I heard that a lot of undocumented people are going to the beaches for fear of arrest and deportation if they show up at the sanctioned shelters. And so I don't know, it's a tough question to answer. I don't really know what people are going to do after this. I think hopefully just try to rebuild their lives. I'm sure a lot of people are never going to be the same. Look at that. It's just, the metal's literally just bended. Melted car rim. Yeah, there's lots of shelters. I slept in my truck outside of one last night because it was closed. I couldn't find an open one, but I know they're around. Oh man, just feeling sick from all this air. Nauseating. I smelled some weed being smoked by the NBC crew over there. So it's like people are trying to take care of themselves and medicate while they're breathing in all this gnarly air. Sorry to rat you out, NBC. It's just kind of funny. But the situation on the ground here isn't. This is just devastating. And smell, smoke still. Active fires, I'm sure, still in this rubble. A lot of times when trees or large things burn, the embers can literally go into the roots of the tree and stay there underground for days. So I'm sure that this isn't gonna be over anytime soon. I know that more wildfires are breaking out. I saw wildfires just right off the freeway on my way down here, 60 miles away last night. Burning structures uncontrolled into the night. I wasn't able to pull over and film because I was on the freeway, but someone's whole livelihood probably right here. This little work truck just laid waste. I mean, there's not even a steering wheel. You can see all the old pieces of their tools. Just ruined. Basketball hoop. So eerie. Look at it. It just bent in such a strange way. Sorry, I know I'm kind of doing two things at once here, taking photos and live streaming. I'm just trying, I don't know if I'm going to come back to this area, so I gotta do what I can while I'm here. We got PG&E over here. Working on some sort of power deal. I'm assuming they're trying to get up, down power, or take care of a dangerous situation, so I'm going to avoid that and give them their space. God, this is just so gnarly. I'm going to cut through right here and get out onto that street. Rubble, melted glass. Someone's bicycle. God damn. I don't really want to be walking through this stuff. Okay, wow, whole nother neighborhood here across the street. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's a whole nother huge neighborhood. Wow. Wow, it just goes as far as I can see. Oh wow, across the street too. Look at that, a whole nother neighborhood right there. And a whole nother one right here. Guess I'll go walk around. This is just incredible. It is just blocks and blocks of this, folks. This neighborhood almost seems like it's a little hot. Was a little hotter because there's no chimneys, or maybe the chimney. Maybe there's no chimneys to begin with in this neighborhood. But good. You can just. I mean, my zoom on this camera is not good, but it's just my phone camera. But as far as I can see, there's nothing left but rubble. It just looks like a firebomb ripped through here. This little bear. Again, for people that are just joining us on the live stream, I'm with Renegade Media. I'm with Renegade Media. My name's Jake Wesley Anderson. We're just walking through the debris here in Santa Rosa. This neighborhood is just completely decimated. And anyway, I'm just gonna keep live streaming. I don't know what else to do, really. It's a little cul-de-sac. This stuff just stretches for miles. These abalone shells even melted. Looks like someone left out some food for their cat. Maybe they couldn't find it. Maybe that's just a coincidence. Right there you can see a house spared. So right here you have homes completely destroyed, and right there they're fine. Wow. You can hear people over there. It's just wow. Smells so gross. The air is just, it's got this gnarly taste to it, just like burning plastic. Sure, it's just full of dioxin. I really feel bad for a lot of the people that, you know, have compromised immune systems or health problems, or all the old folks and all these migrant workers that are harvesting the grapes out here. Excuse me. Getting a little overwhelmed by the fumes. This neighborhood seems a little hotter. Seems like there's a little more active fire around here. You can see Hopper Street, just to the left of Hopper Street. Wow, this is just on a major street here, folks. I mean, this is like a major drag in Santa Rosa. Yeah, I don't know what the molten stuff is made of. It's definitely coming from people's car rims, though. Well, probably other stuff too. God, look at these bicycles. Sorry, taking a photo. It's just on the real out here. Let me know if y'all have any questions that I can try to answer. I'm not super up to date about everything that's happening. I know that if you're in the area and you're trying to get out, that Cal Fire is their website is going to be up to date with all the latest fire activity, and so you could check that. I mean, this just spans for miles. Guys are out here doing their best to help out. One positive thing I can say, go down this road, just, they all look the same, is that the community response has been really great. You know, people have been bringing in water and snacks for firefighters, and on the freeway up here I saw all sorts of signs hanging up saying thank you volunteers, thank you firefighters. You know, I think that situations like this can really bring out the best in some people. I think in most people. And yeah, there's crows. That's the only wildlife I've really seen. It's just the crows. I mean, I haven't even seen stuff like this in a movie. This is just a normal street. This is just... I don't even know what to photograph because it's just all so overwhelming. It's just... keep snapping them off. Yeah. You can see all the crows. Yeah, I'll keep my eye out for any pets. You can see we got some firemen rolling through. Yeah. Yes, it does. It's close to one I've ever seen. All these shingles are just nothing but ash. Yeah, really want to thank all the firefighters too. A lot of them have been working in 24-hour shifts, 24 hours on, 24 hours off. I'm sure some of them have been working a lot longer than that. And a lot of them are prisoners, unfortunately. California has seemed to prioritize prison labor as a solution to dealing with the fire crisis in California. So 30% of California's firefighters are actually forced labor. They're actually prisoners. Sorry, I'm just taking photos of these bikes. Unbelievable. Yeah, I know that when I was a volunteer firefighter, a lot of times our volunteer department would show up to help put out a fire. Cal Fire would come with what they call the con crew, which is the prison inmate labor, California Department of Corrections, and they'd kick the volunteers out so that the inmates could do the more dangerous stuff. And the thing that a lot of people would argue is, oh well, at least they're not in their cells, at least they're not, you know, locked up. But for one thing, a lot of those people are kept in those prisons for low-level offenses to be used as forced labor. And the other thing is that's completely coercion. I mean, I'd rather go break rocks than sit in a jail cell. I don't know if anyone's ever sat in a jail cell, but that's not a pleasant experience, and people will do whatever they have to get out of there just to see the sunshine, even if that means risking their life putting out fires. And especially when you're talking about giving them an early release or some money to buy some basic necessities while they're incarcerated. You're talking about a situation that a lot of people just can't say no to. They're not in the position to say no to. It's not like they can go get another job. And so I don't know, I don't want to inject too many of my own opinions, but I really wish that California would figure out a situation outside of taking advantage of these prisoners and find more volunteers and, you know, pay firefighters better. If someone's got some dog food and cat food out. Someone's got a little tea set. Oh, it's so weird. Absolute wasteland. You just see the street and it looks like a normal street. It looks like when you pan the camera up, it's just going to be a normal house. But then there's this. Yeah, I know that a lot of the firefighters that work, the prisoners that work on the fire crews do get seriously injured. You know, they get cut with chainsaws, they get burned, they get smoke inhalation, they get fire retardant dumped on them, work long, dangerous hours. And there's more of these bikes. Now it's just unbelievable. Guess I'll work up through this neighborhood. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know what else to do. If there's anything you guys, if you folks want me to cover or want me to talk about. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. I'm just trying to explain the situation, especially for people that are just tuning in. Gross. I know that before I came down here, my cell phone didn't work for 3 days because 10 cell phone towers got burned supposedly, and a fiber optic cable got burned. So, you know, we had literally no cell phone coverage for days. No text, no internet. And that's sort of when I knew the situation was pretty serious, because that's not typical for wildfires. And, you know, seeing all the drone footage of these areas is just incredible. Butterfly. I know that a lot of people are concerned about the pets. One of my friends, before I came down here, told me that there was something like 300 horses that needed rescuing. And I know that there's a lot of those type of situations happening. Just these little mementos that are, you know, out here. It's just a weird juxtaposition. It's just so weird to see so much devastation and then just like some random little object just there. No steering wheel. No even glove box. Crows. You just got these. Looks like someone picked this up. So crazy. Could someone maybe tell me how long this live stream's been going for? I'm just kind of curious how long this thing's been running. Okay, I don't know. You know, I don't know if I should continue live streaming or if I should save my battery for something later. I'll go a little longer, at least till I get out of this neighborhood. I'm gonna walk back through and film some more high quality 4K footage on my way out of here. Okay, so here's another example of just like, looks like we reached the edge of this burned up neighborhood. Just past me you can see houses unaffected. I'll walk up to them real quick. I really appreciate you all tuning in to independent media. You know, we need all the help we can get to get these stories out. You know, with the live stream, you can just get a bigger picture of what's happening. A lot of times, you know, they're shakier. It's not as high quality footage, but you get the unfiltered vibe of what's happening. You know, you can make a lot of magic happen in an editing room, and I like the idea of live streams not doing that, that it's just raw, unfiltered, and you can pretty much just see for yourself and judge for yourself, you know. Over here it looks like the cops are talking to some locals. It's like it's any other day. They're just out in their front yard. I'll kind of walk over here a little more just to kind of give you an idea of how one house was spared and another was taken, you know. It's like right here you got all this. We're still sort of, this is the edge. This is the edge of the fire right here. You know, this home got partially damaged. And but then we're right back in a normal neighborhood. I mean, look, this is what it must have looked like before. Just a normal neighborhood. But then you go over here, you know, and it's a wasteland. Yeah, I do kind of want to get out of here, get my lungs a break, and but I just don't know if I'm going to get access. It was so hard getting in here. You know, one police officer would let you through a roadblock, and other ones would sort of shut you down, and then you got to go to a different place. And so, you know, I mean, eventually they talked to their supervisor, some of them, and checked my credentials and my ID and stuff, and they let me in. But I just don't want to take the chance of leaving and not being able to get back in, because I know that they're trying to kind of lock this area down and tighten restrictions. God, look at this old classic car. There's not even a door. The door isn't even left. Good God. What a beautiful car that probably was. Old Buick. Man, I guess it didn't get it as bad as some of them. Yeah, I mean, the most important thing obviously is people's lives. I'm really worried for people that live in this neighborhood. People had their Halloween decorations out. You can see they had their pumpkin. And then we're right back into a normal neighborhood. See, this house got partially taken. Looks like it's totaled. You can see all their trash just sort of melted into that can just completely melted into the storm drain. Wow. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap up this live stream here. I want to get into some other areas. I need to take some more high quality footage on my other camera, and so that we can kind of better document what's happened here. And so thank you for joining us with Renegade Media. My name's Jake Wesley Anderson. We're live in Santa Rosa. You know, condolences to all the friends and family of the people affected by this. I really hope that this community can try to recover, and I'm sure a lot of people's lives aren't going to be the same. And yeah, whatever y'all can do for them, and you know, please share this video if you like what we're doing. Give us a follow online. I'll try to keep the coverage up. This is a pretty historic fire here in California. So thanks again.